Números ordinales. Our first lesson on numbers was cardinal numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are números cardinales, cardinal numbers. This lesson is going to focus on números ordinales, or first, second, third, fourth. The first three are going to be the most common that you'll see. I'm going to show you the first 12, first through 12th. After that, you can still say 13th, 14th, etc., but really uncommon to see, so we're going to focus on the first 12, and that'll give us a good place to start when it comes to números ordinales. First is primero, segundo, tercero. When we pronounce tercero and primero, pay attention to the R. It's not primero, tercero. That's again an English accent pronunciation of the R. We want to flap the R. Primero, tercero. And segundo, it looks kind of like second in English, so it's a fairly easy one to remember. Primero, segundo, tercero. I want to point out to you primero and tercero. I'm going to do a mini lesson here. Atención. That's going to show you kind of primero and tercero, and one thing for sure that I kind of want to point out to you. In Spanish, they have feminine nouns, a noun that ends in an A. And mochila is a feminine noun. It means book bag. Mochila, mochilas, that's plural. You just add an S like in English. Book bag and book bags. If you were to say first book bag, primero would go to primera. The A's have to match up. Primera mochila. And if it's plural, it also has to match up. Primeras mochilas. If it's a masculine noun, which is one that ends in an O, like libro, primero libro, primeros libros. Fairly straightforward. You're going to want to focus on that. However, there's one exception that you need to understand, is for the masculine, the O, if it's singular, you're going to drop the O in primer. It's not going to be primero libro, it's primer libro. Let's look what that would look like for tercero as well. Exact same rule. Tercero goes to tercera mochila, terceras mochilas. And if we have a word like book, it should be tercero libro and terceros libros. But just like primer, it's going to be tercer. So primer libro, tercer libro, those two are going to be exceptions to the rule. So here we are so far. Primero and tercero, the two that are going to end in an R, are the ones that are going to drop the O. Cuarto is fourth. Pretty straightforward. Cuatro is four, so if you flip the R and the T, it's cuarto, and that's going to be fourth. Quinto is fifth. A good way to remember that would be quinto sol, fifth sun. The Mayans and the Aztecs had this concept of the quinto sol. It's a Mexican concept that has to do with that Mayan end of the world, the quinto sol. It's the fifth sun or the last sun, supposedly, in their time cycle. Primero, segundo, tercero, cuarto, quinto. We're going to move those over to the left so we can fit in the next list, which is going to be 6th through 12th. Sexto, séptimo, octavo, noveno, décimo. You can kind of see that séptimo, octavo, noveno, and décimo look like our months of the year. September, October, November, December. I looked into that, and I found it really interesting. I did an internet search, simple Google search, and looked at Roman calendar, Julian calendar, and Gregorian calendar. And if you're interested in this concept, again, this is going to be a little mini lesson here. Do an internet search yourself, and it's really fascinating. Time is arbitrary, how it's divided up. It's a political concept. For example, Islamic, Hindu, and Chinese calendars are all different. They're based on different beginning dates. Some are lunar, some are solar. So depending on where you grew up and what your cultural background is, it's going to determine your concept of time. And even your concept of time will change over time. The Roman calendar changed into the Julian, changed into the Gregorian, which is the calendar that most of the world kind of has synchronized our watches to. And I was fascinated with this concept of séptimo, octavo, noveno, and décimo. Why did it look like we had 10 months at one time and now we have 12? So in my internet search, I found that when Rome was founded, about 753 BC, by a guy named Romulus, he founded a calendar that was kind of based on these ideas. He had a 10-month calendar. And you'll notice the first four don't really match up. Primero, segundo, tercero, cuarto. But this last part does. This is the original Roman calendar that goes back a long time, almost 3,000 years. The first 4 months of the Roman calendar, the original one, was March, April, May, and June. Martius, Aprilus, or Aprilis, Maius, Junius. Those don't really match up, but the other ones do. Quintilis, Sextilis, September, October, November, December. So you can see how those words were formed, you know. So 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. That was the original Roman calendar that's changed over time to the Gregorian one that we have today. So it's just a little mini thing. If you're interested in it, to me it's really interesting. Check it out online. It's you can spend an hour or two reading stuff on that. It's going to be interesting.